Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back to share the story of the day my YouTube channel blew up and took off. And I didn't know why, but it did, and it just so happened to be the same day that I got my rectum and colon removed. If you missed the first part of this video, I will link that below. In that video, I talk about my experience kind of growing up on YouTube, sharing my Crohn's disease and ostomy story, and how that developed into a professional role. I originally thought I was going to be a bedside nurse for the rest of my life, and that's not really what happened. I mainly do YouTube and patient advocacy related things now, and it's not exactly where I saw my life, but I was worried that nursing was going to go to waste if I wasn't a bedside nurse, and it 100% did not go to waste because I absolutely use those skills today when I share online. Alright, so let me tell you about the day my channel blew up, and it kind of came out of nowhere. It was such a weird, strange experience, coincidentally happening on the day that I'm getting the most major surgery of my life. And it was kind of ironic that the thing that was sending me to the hospital was the thing that would blow me up on YouTube, and it all would occur on the same day. So anyways, what started to happen the days leading up to my proctocolectomy surgery, and I don't know if this has anything to do why the channel went crazy, but I was sharing a little bit more often because I wanted to share my experience going through surgery. So I started talking about, what I'm going to eat post-op, what medications I'm going to take, what wound care products I'm going to have, how I'm going to manage after I get home, what I'm packing for the hospital. I wanted to talk about all those things because those were things that I thought would be helpful for patients. And so I was uploading pretty often. And what I noticed a couple days before surgery was that my channel was getting a few more views than I was typically, used to. And so eventually I mentioned it to Zach, and I was like, this is a little weird. I'm noticing a few more people on here watching me. And we didn't really take it seriously until the day of my surgery. Because on that day, the morning of, I was getting tons of comments, and they weren't my typical comments from people who have watched my videos before. It was things like, oh, what's that red thing on your belly? What does that do? I'm like, people who watch my channel know what that is. That's my ostomy. So I was getting weird comments like that of people who just had no idea what ostomy surgery was or what Crohn's disease was. And I realized it was all related to one video that I had made almost a year prior. It took a year for this video to suddenly pick up. And so, of course, this is something, if you have a video that gets popular on any platform, you kind of want to monitor it because you never know if, you're going to get some crazy or weird comments that you have to, take care of, because there are weird people out there. And so I remember being really annoyed the morning of my surgery because I'm like, I'm going to be knocked out, and then I'm going to be drugged up for days, and I'm not going to be able to take care of this. But I don't want to, take the video down and not see what happens. So Zach wound up being my, official monitor because I was out of commission. And obviously I wound up getting the surgery that day. It was Friday the 13th. Another decision that I'm questioning, but everything worked out, so it's fine. But yes, I have very few memories of waking up after that surgery, but I have 3. I just told you this one recently, the nurse that looked at my bottom and was like, oh girl, you look so good. Love her. She was fabulous. Another memory that I have is our friend that is notorious for losing his job called to tell Zach that he had been fired, and I thought that was really funny, waking up from surgery. And then I remember starting to cry because I was laughing and it hurt really bad. And so I remember yelling at Zach saying, stop making me laugh. And the third memory is Zach telling me, Maggie, your channel is going crazy. you're getting all these subscribers. I think at the time I had like 16,000 subscribers, and because of this video, it blew it up. And I think Zach had told me something like, you got 50,000 views on this one video today. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That video's been up for a year. Who knows how YouTube works? I certainly didn't at the time, I'll tell you that. Honestly, that video going crazy like that was a huge motivator, because it made me realize I'm not just speaking to people who have Crohn's disease or have ostomies. I am speaking to the public. Like, anybody can watch this video. There's no ostomy requirement on their part. And I realized how many people didn't know what this was, and how many people were thanking me saying, thank you for educating me on this. I didn't know what this was, or I was, largely unfamiliar with it. And seeing somebody live actively with this, that's awesome. I didn't realize you could do that. So that was like such a huge motivation for me. I thought, how cool is it that I'm not only, speaking with patients and speaking to patients, I'm speaking to people who have no idea what this is, and therefore hopefully impacting somebody in their life who may have an ostomy or have Crohn's disease or whatever, that they might be a little more receptive to it. That video went on to get 6.6 million views. And I know that's not like the most viral video, but in my sense of videos online, I was shocked. 6.6 million times somebody clicked on my video, and I didn't know what it was about this video. I tried to make them searchable for patients, so if a patient was interested in learning about a surgery or a product, they could see it in action. I tried writing them out in the description, and that video was just me doing something I had done before online, showing things I had shown online before. It was how I changed my ostomy bag. I think that was the title. It was just very simple, straightforward. No crazy title. I showed my stoma in the thumbnail. I don't know if maybe that, like, people are like, ooh, what's that red thing on her tummy? I don't know if that was it. Something appealed to somebody. That video also helped make me money, which at the time, because of the surgery I was experiencing, was super helpful. Yeah, it was definitely helpful in the recovery process, as I was like needing to buy things for myself. I spent so much freaking money on wound care products that, I would buy on Amazon, and they're expensive. I actually just bought a couple things for a video that I want to talk about, how I healed my bottom. I just bought them because I wanted to show them and how I actually use them, and they were expensive. So that video is super helpful. But the funny thing is that over the last few years, I've really, tried to learn how can I most successfully do this, and learned the intricacies of YouTube and length of video and ad placement and things like that. So the funny thing is that I made another video that went, it got popular. I think it got 1-something million views. And I was talking about my period, and I don't know if I was talking about products I used, or was it about intimacy with an ostomy? I honestly don't remember. I had another video though go popular, and because of certain things I did on that video compared to the first one that got 6.6 million views, they made about the same in ad revenue. Isn't that crazy? I know. So I thought that was so interesting, but also I was like, dang it, if I could have just, made a couple changes, if I had just done things differently the first time, it could have been better, but that's okay. But this made me so interested in how YouTube works specifically. I know that there are many different social media platforms that patient advocates share online with, but I have always loved video creating. There's TikTok now. I have always preferred the longer form content because I feel like I can get my explanation out there a little bit better. And when it comes to writing, again, I feel like I don't get everything I want to say onto paper or onto the screen, as it would be in my case. Whereas YouTube, I feel like I can kind of freely say what I'm thinking at that exact moment and it not have to be perfect. I can just kind of talk how I talk. So with that video that I made and videos that come after, in which I really try to educate with evidence-based information, and I really try to spend a lot of time researching beforehand, and I just put time and effort into these videos. I realized that the nursing career that I once had was not for nothing, and I could have success doing something I already enjoyed. I already liked making videos. I already enjoyed the community that I was a part of. But I could use those skills that I gained as a nurse and put them into videos, because I can't tell you how many medical professionals I had on that how I changed my ostomy bag video, comment and say, oh my gosh, this is the clearest video I've found, or I had a bunch of nursing students find it. I've had professors want to share the video in their classrooms. I mean, that video really was the tipping point for me. And because of that, the channel grew, subscriber count grew, and the amount that I made off of ads grew, which is super helpful. And I know that there are some that are interested in this and some that are not. YouTube does not pay all the bills for me. It's definitely hard to get to that point. It really is. It takes so much consistency. And for myself, I am not the best at this. It did take me years to get to a point where it pays some of the bills. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to having to manage this disease, some of the bills is super helpful. So yes, and me sharing online when I talk about YouTube and, having made money off of it, it's not just YouTube. I'm very thankful because I have found different companies to work with on longer term basis than just, one-off sponsorships, although I still do some of those. I have found other opportunities, like I help a company with social media management, and I've helped consult in certain products and stuff that you'll never see my face or name on, but I consulted in their making. So it just led to such interesting opportunities, which I can absolutely talk about more in depth, of all the different realms that you can get involved in when it comes to patient advocacy. Because I think that there are patients that are interested in sharing their voice, but they aren't interested in necessarily having their face to go along with it. And I completely get that, because I talk about a lot of intimate topics online, and sometimes I'm like, was that too much? Was that TMI? Am I going to forever embarrass myself on the internet because I share that, and the internet is forever? I don't know. That's what I wanted to share about my YouTube channel and how it just one day flipped a switch and turned a different direction. I don't have the biggest channel in the patient advocacy world. I don't think that you need that. I have found such a loving community. Just really nice people that have supported my channel throughout the years, and I cannot tell you how thankful I am to you, because I look at 16-year-old Maggie, who was all by herself with her ostomy and just kind of twiddling her thumbs, not knowing what to do with it, not understanding that there would be a world in the future that was just amazing when it comes to ostomies, all the things you can do with them and the products available for them and the information out there. And I hope that I can do that for other patient communities and topics, as I've gotten older and had a couple more diagnoses on my list. Not thrilled about it. But things like dealing with intimacy and periods after proctocolectomy surgery, there really is not a ton of information online. There are not a lot of articles online. It's a topic that I have been, sharing a little bit about online because at least I can offer a patient experience if there is no other information out there. There isn't a ton on adenomyosis as I'm learning, as I'm trying to search online for it. There's a huge endometriosis community, but adenomyosis not so much. So yeah, I think that there is such value in speaking about what you're experiencing, and you know, not just value to patients, but value to yourself, both in as therapeutic as heck and also profitable for you, because sharing your story online and sharing it in a professional way, tailored way to not just like share all the details without sugarcoating it, but doing it in a way that doesn't scare the absolute heck out of patients. That is a skill. That is a tough skill. And you should be paid for it, like you should. And I'm thankful that many companies are seeing that and offering opportunities to patients to not only help them with their medical financial battles, but just, you know, you need money to live. It's just how the world works. So, I mean, you know, I love my little farm, and if I could live off the land, I totally would. And that was actually something Zach asked me a few weeks ago. He's like, if you didn't make money from YouTube, would you still do it? And I was like, yeah, I did it for like years before making money. I was like, it's helpful for me to get my thoughts out to people who actually understand what I'm saying. Like, no offense, Zach, but you don't know what it's like not having an anus. And I can't talk to you the same way that I talk to you. So I was like, yes, I would still be making videos if like 2 people watched it, because 2 people are watching. 2 people want to hear what I'm saying. Anyways, guys, so that was my journey on YouTube and how it kind of snowballed throughout the years and grew into something a little bit different, and never pictured myself in nursing school doing what I do now. If you are interested more in what I do, you know, what types of patient advocacy stuff I am involved in, like the sponsorships or the consultancy stuff or educational material stuff, I have been involved in a number of different things. I'm more than happy to speak on that. And I also want you to know that I'm working on like videos for those of you who are not interested in patient advocacy, but more so how to deal financially with the loveliness that chronic illness gives us, the lovely expenses. I've got $1 million body here, I'll tell you that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for your support, and I will see you very soon. Bye, guys.